Hello and welcome to Pushing Back, Ukraine Daily Brief. As the war enters its 877th day, these are the main developments from the past 24 hours. The update from the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Russia has lost approximately 565,610 troops in Ukraine since the beginning of the war. The number, which has not been independently verified, includes 990 casualties over the past day. According to the released Ukrainian figures, Russia lost 7 tanks, 15 armored combat vehicles, 22 artillery systems, 1 multiple launch rocket system, 1 air defense system, 34 drones, 1 military jet, 59 vehicles, and 14 pieces of special equipment. The Russians launched 101 combat clashes and carried out 65 airstrikes, including 91 anti-aircraft missiles on the territory of Ukraine. They also used 447 kamikaze drones and carried out 3,200 attacks on the positions of Ukrainian troops and settlements using various types of weapons. In its latest intelligence update, the UK's Ministry of Defence reports Russia continues its offensive in Ukraine, with the main focus on the Avdiivka-Pokrovsk area. Russian forces have made gains there, including capturing parts of New York, a heavily fortified Ukrainian position. However, their progress near Chasiv Yar has stalled, and they are now using smaller units for reconnaissance and probing attacks. In its latest intelligence update, the Institute for the Study of War. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky reiterated the importance of developing an international consensus for pursuing peace negotiations to end the war in Ukraine. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban appears to be augmenting several Russian information operations amid continued efforts to present himself as a possible future mediator between Russia and Ukraine. New United Kingdom Defence Secretary John Healey stated on July 19 that Ukraine can use UK-provided weapons to strike military targets in Russia, despite previous reports that the UK had not permitted Ukraine to use UK-supplied Storm Shadow missiles to strike military targets within Russia. The Kremlin is reportedly concerned about the long-term social and political implications of Russian veterans returning from the war in Ukraine. The Russian government is reportedly considering stricter measures to directly censor critical voices on Russian social media. Russian authorities continue to propose stricter migration legislation as Russia's ultranationalists continue to espouse xenophobic rhetoric and complain about the Russian government's perceived lenient migration policy. This organization continues to plague Russian efforts to integrate personnel who served in Russian proxy forces in occupied Ukraine into the Russian military bureaucracy. Russian forces recently advanced near Siversk, Toretsk, and Avdiivka. In Zelensky's visit to the United Kingdom, he was speaking to the UK cabinet members and spoke about 3 areas. Firstly, gratitude for British support. He expressed profound gratitude to the UK for its unwavering support from the onset of the Russian invasion. He acknowledges the significant political and military assistance provided by Britain, which has bolstered Ukraine's defense efforts and resilience. He emphasizes the importance of continued and enhanced cooperation between Ukraine and the UK, highlighting the recent productive meetings and agreements that strengthen their bilateral relationship. Secondly, call for enhanced military capabilities. He emphasized the need for lifting restrictions on the use of Western weapons, particularly long-range capabilities, to effectively counter Russian aggression. He argues that by enabling Ukraine to strike deeper into Russian military positions, including airfields, they can better protect their cities and frontline positions from Russian attacks. He calls on the UK to lead this initiative and persuade other partners to support this critical step. Lastly, economic and diplomatic measures against Russia. He underscored the necessity of depriving Russia of financial resources and weapon production capabilities. He appreciates the UK's role in implementing and strengthening sanctions against Russia and advocates for using frozen Russian assets to fund Ukraine's defense and reconstruction. He stresses the interconnectedness of individual safety with national security and commends the UK's leadership in enhancing security across Europe through robust defense and security cooperation agreements. In the presence of President Volodymyr Zelensky, Ukraine's Defense Minister Rustem Umerov and the UK's Secretary of State for Defense John Healey signed an agreement to enhance Ukraine's defense capabilities through official credit support. This £2 billion agreement will initiate Ukrainian-British projects, including the supply, maintenance, and partial production of air defense systems, armored vehicles, and ammunition. By 2026, Ukraine's defense forces will be equipped with advanced air defense systems, radar, and strike capabilities, and will establish partial production of Western-type artillery components. Given the high costs and urgent need for defense development, Ukraine will repay the loan over 15 years. First Lady of Ukraine Olena Zelenska participated online in the first Ukrainian event of the School Meals Coalition, celebrating Ukraine's new membership in the organization. The event presented the results of the school meals case study, Ukraine, supported by UNICEF, WHO, and the UN World Food Programme, analyzing food services in Ukrainian educational institutions. Key speakers, including Ukrainian ministers, discussed the impact of nutrition on students' health and the economy, particularly during wartime. The event also highlighted the progress of the school nutrition reform, international support, and upcoming initiatives, including a regional summit in Ukraine this fall. Thanks for following today's updates. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. We'll return tomorrow with the latest news on the ongoing conflict.